Hey guys, it's Blair. I thought that I would do a video today, a book review on a book that I have just finished and one that I wasn't planning on reading but picked up at the library and fell in love with. It is Mr. Shakespeare's Bastard, and it is by Richard B. Wright. And I'm going to try and do this review pretty quickly. So basically, it is set around the 1500s, 1600s, I guess when Shakespeare was about. And this novel takes place in the past and the present of the main female character, Arlene Ward. And her story kind of alternates between her mother's story and her story. Her mother tells her the story of how she met her father, and then the next part of the story is about how she met her father. And I really love that it was broken up into two parts. I'll just show you briefly what I mean. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but for here it will say my story. So I think it's probably for the first half of the book it was her mum's story, and she would relay it to Arlene, and Arlene would relay it to Charlotte as Arlene was older. So she was telling her story, and it was kind of like I'm probably explaining it in a confusing way, but it was not confusing. And I really liked that it kind of had flashbacks and went to when Arlene was an elderly woman, and and just getting to know her as a character through her mother's eyes, through her mother's perspective, and then getting to know her as a young child, and both of their thoughts and the way that their life was changed when her mother met William Shakespeare. So this book is really fantastic. Richard's writing is just beautiful. It is effortless. It flows. It reminds me so much of the books that I read when I was younger. It has given me faith in historical books again, because a lot of the times when I read historical books, I feel like there's a letdown. This did not let me down at all. I'm definitely giving it a 5-star. The characters were very rich. I felt like when I was reading this book, I knew these characters deeply. I got to know the maids and the family and the people who made an impact in each of their lives, and it was really great to see that the characters who made an impact in her mother's life also made an impact in her life later on down the track. And it felt like Arlene was living the same kind of life that her mother did, because for a lot of things their lives intertwined, and how she met her father was really beautiful as well, and how she, I guess, I don't think I would say she became obsessed, but through her mother's stories she got to know her father a lot better, and through the stories of other people she got to know him. And there's some twists and turns in the story that really just make this book so beautiful, and just a wonderful read. I would definitely recommend this book for people who are fans of Shakespeare, because I haven't read any of these books, but from what I hear, this would be a really great retelling to read. Also, as for someone who has never read any Shakespeare, but who would like to start reading historical books, or who already likes historical books, please pick this up. It is a wonderful story. The settings and the atmosphere that he creates just blow me away. I'm really having a hard time trying to find words to explain this book, because it is one of those books that I just wanted to sit down for days and days and days and just read it. Absorb myself in the world and in that culture and in that time. And when they were talking about how cold it was, I felt it to my bones, and sitting in front of the fire and poking at it, and I just felt like really warm, and travelling along the dusty roads and seeing all these beggars and people who were homeless with children on their backs and trying to pull people off their horses. I could feel all that and I could see all that, and it's very rare that in my brain I see things. I mean, I know I see things when I read books, but this book really just drew me into the world, drew me into the time. I forgot that where I was for a while there. I forgot that I was actually in 2012, which is what you really want from a book. That's what I want from a book. I want a book that draws me in so much I forget that I'm existing in this place right now. I forget that the culture is different and we don't have carts and horses, or and also I'd like to say that even like I said, even the minor characters, they had their own story, and their stories were interwoven within the main plot, and I just found that fascinating. I just wanted to just meet these people, villains, and the people that really just inspired her as well and made her stand on her own 2 feet, and the people who ridiculed her, and they made her the person she was, and she was a very strong, headstrong woman, and I think her mother was the same, so I really appreciate that, and the relationship between Arlene and her mother was a very sad one, but a very beautiful one. So that is my thoughts and mini review on Mr. Shakespeare's Bastard. I am so sorry, I'm at a loss of words today, but it's very hard for me to think about exactly how this makes me feel, because I'm not very used to reviewing historical books, but this book made me want to actually read more in the time period, because I really love this time period. I believe it's a Renaissance period. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the period of time when this is set. But it made me interested in historical fiction again, and I think for that, it's definitely a 5-star rating. If you have heard anything by Richard B. Wright, please let me know. If you are looking to read this book, pick it up. Definitely. Check it out on Goodreads. Read some reviews. I'm not too sure how the reviews are on Goodreads, but I would definitely be writing a great review for this, and it's one of those books that I picked up randomly, so I'm going to have to buy a copy for myself ASAP. Okay guys, I'm going to leave you with that thought, and I shall see you later.